State Championship Basketball Tournament on KSLSports.com, your online home for state championships. So glad to have you along with us. Our semifinal matchup, the Lehi Pioneers and the Herriman Mustangs. Our coverage is always presented by Heidemann and Associates. Go to utah.law to get your free consultation. Let them know the Rewind sent you. And this week, we are brought to you by NutriCost. Go to NutriCost.com. Over 300 supplement products available on NutriCost.com. Use the code UTAHMADE to get 30% off. Dusty Lister, please be joined by Coach Chad Sims of the Davis Darts State Championship head coach Chad Sims. Let's get your introduction.
All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Former Weber State Wildcat,
Yes.
Former Weber Warrior, former Northridge Knight, and now State Championship head coach Chad Sims.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Glad to be here, man. I'm excited.
This will be a lot of fun. Now, you got to play against Lehi. It's about Cooper Lewis, but who else is it about when you talk about the Lehi Pioneers?
Well, I think it's going to come down to the role players. Brousseau's good. Cooper's good. But, Hawkins is capable of scoring. And if you try to double team Cooper, you got other guys that hit shots from the perimeter as well. If Lehi can rebound, control the boards on both ends, I think they got a shot.
Now, Coach, you know very well, Doug Meacham comes back up from St. George to the north, and he's got Herriman in a spot they've never been in. This is the first semifinal in Herriman High School history. And Doug Meacham's got a deep team. He's got a big team. How can he use that height to really disrupt Lehi?
Well, Doug's a great coach and emphasizes the right things. And if Herriman's tough defensively, and I'm excited to see the matchups. We talked about this a little bit earlier that Doug has with Lehi, because who's he going to put on Lewis?
Yeah.
I know I've watched enough film on Herriman. At times Johnson's guarded perimeter guys. I don't know if that's the right move. We talked about that. We talked about maybe funneling, Lewis into Johnson. But defensively, if Herriman can lock the Pioneers down and keep Cooper in check, they're going to be okay.
As go to the jump circle, it'll be Malcolm Johnson and Cowan. As this Lehi team and Coach Quincy Lewis, he is going after the record-breaking state championship. He is tied with Craig Drury.
Really?
Tied with him at 8.
Good for him. Quincy's great. A lot of respect for him.
Won 7 at Lone Peak. Won in his very first year at Lehi in 2021. That team of Noah Gonzalez, they got on a run in the state tournament and won that one. Ike Palmer opens up the second 1,000-point scorer in the history of Herriman basketball. Misses on that one. Malcolm Johnson running from rim to rim. That's what you want from your big guy, right?
I like the pace of Lehi getting out quick, so they can get Johnson down the floor. Just got tipped and picked off.
Malcolm Johnson just recently signed to play football at Navy. And as a young man with very good discerning skills, if he realizes the value of going to the Naval Academy, not just for football, but for life. Drop that ball inside, and Bromley takes that one in the chest, and that is a charge. And the ball will go down the floor with Lehi.
I'm sure Coach Lewis wants to get out and get some easy buckets. You play half court against Herriman with their size and length, it's going to be difficult. Looks like they put Palmer on Lewis.
Let's see where they go. Cooper Lewis with Ike Palmer. See if he has the foot speed to stay with Cooper. As Bromley fires that into Brousseau. Grayson with Barclay on his hip. Gets around him, and that's a layup for Grayson Brousseau. It's a kid to understand that's a Division I athlete. Going to go to Utah State as a tight end. Drops that in. It's taken away. Brousseau on the run. Gives it up. Here's Hawkins. Off on the 3. Tipped out and taken by Johnson. And then in the hands of Stockton Blanchard. How about Carlo Mulford? Nice take and make by Carlo.
In scouting him, he can go both ways. Not real familiar with his game, but going to the left, he seems a lot more efficient finishing at the rim.
His brother played at Cypress and American Fork. Is inside with Brousseau. Scoop it up. No. Nice take at Barclay. Just didn't go. As Carlo Mulford will hold up top and set up the offense for Coach Meacham. Carlo had a terrific quarterfinal on that take. Can't get it. Rebound to Reed Bromley. Inside, oh, nice move by Cooper. Float it and score it. If you haven't watched Cooper Lewis this year, you've missed out.
Yeah, in the open court, he's gonna make you pay for that. That's an easy bucket for him. And if he's double team, he's gonna kick it out, and someone's gonna knock it down. The space is there for him. You can see that Herriman's not double teaming. Plenty of space for Cooper off the dribble and Brousseau inside.
As that one doesn't go, see if you get one more look at this Cooper Lewis bucket. Love the ball fake, froze up Barclay. So they drop it into Malcolm. He sends it out to Palmer. Now inside to Barclay. Had Cowan on his back, and Cale Barclay lays that one in.
You know, even though Johnson's big, Barclay's the one that posts up early and often. If he gets that deep, it's just a matter of stop him. There's not enough length on Lehi's team.
And we have a traveling violation on Brousseau. Tied up at 4 early on in this one. 5:03 left in the first quarter.
Both these teams in the half court, you watch them, they're patient. They don't panic. They're under control. That's good coaching with confidence. You know, kids that are coached that way during the regular season usually play that way in the postseason. Confident in that type of play.
Carlo Mulford up top. Barclay for 3. Off the mark. Rebound to Johnson, and Malcolm crawls in. Does the work down low. And a nice finish and one for Malcolm Johnson.
No body on him. They double team Barclay. Johnson's free. It's tough.
Timeout on the floor.
And the timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. You're watching the 2024 6A state tournament. So Malcolm Johnson going to step to the line. As I mentioned, Malcolm decided to go play football at the Naval Academy. As he misses that free throw, tipped around, now taken by Cooper Lewis. Cooper quickly ahead to Easton Hawkins. Oh, and Hawkins, no travel.
That's a travel.
No travel. Now a jump ball. Possession stays with Lehi.
It'll be interesting. We just talked, usually Coach Lewis out of timeouts gets a shot or some sort of set with Brousseau and Lewis. Seen a lot of times Brousseau will slip an on-ball screen to the bucket.
Bromley goes into Brousseau. Grayson faces up on Barclay, goes at him. I thought Cale played that great, and Brousseau just a better finish.
Used his body, kept his shoulders square to the backboard, kept the defender at bay.
Well, he's got to prove he's the better athlete. His brother Jackson just won some contest at Colorado State. All the athletes at different games playing basketball, and apparently Jackson won it.
Oh, really?
Unless it was complete satire on Instagram. I got it sent to me by Papa Brousseau.
All right.
As that ball tipped away by Grayson on the run with Cooper. Cooper going at Palmer, pulls up, back rimmed, and the rebound in the hands of Carlo Mulford. Carlo straight away, no. And that was a shot he got against you on Monday,
Yeah,
Coach.
He hit a couple of those. We tried to do a few things on him, and he made us look bad.
He's one of those kids that you kind of forget he's a sophomore when you look at his body. He's a big kid, especially look at Diego versus him.
Yeah, and for how composed he is. I mean, he seems like he doesn't rush it very often, gets the team organized, runs what Doug wants him to, and then he just reads the defense, takes the shot when he has it.
Now remember, we had to do our crumble cookie moment. As there is Johnson, nice move. There's a good chance the answer whenever I do the movie quote is going to be The Godfather. When you got a guy out there on the floor named Carlo, that was the question during your game. Was I said, "Hello, Carlo."
I wish he wouldn't have played that well, but he played really well.
He did. He really did. I was very, very impressed what he did. As here goes Cooper to the corner to Easton Hawkins. He'll jump it on the baseline and rattles it in. And that's a kid, if you sleep on Lehi, it's going to be on Hawkins, and he'll hurt you.
For sure. He's capable of hitting that shot. He can stretch the floor. Guys come out on him, he's going to go right by him, hit the pull-up.
Is the last of the Tyler and Kim Hawkins kids to go through Lehi. They send that ball to Stockton Blanchard, wide to the left, and Hawkins pulls in the rebound. Well, junior Cowan
he stepped out.
Oh, he didn't catch it. And then the contact down low goes out. Hawkins straight away for 3, back rimmed. And Johnson tracks that one down. That was a couple of things there.
Geez, the officiating crew's missed a couple. This is a good crew. We've had them all year, and we talked about the officials this year. They've been really good. And see if he missed a spot right there. It looked like he stepped out of bounds.
Tied up at 8. Into the corner. Trying to fit it into Johnson. He gets away from 3 Pioneers and lays it in.
He just wanted it more. Went and got that. Strong with the ball. You know, I was watching him in warm-ups when we played him. He looked pretty locked in, encouraging guys, talking game plan warm-up. He seems like a pretty focused kid right now.
He shot up in the last 2 years. I remember him as a sophomore at Herriman. He was a wing. Cowan goes to the rim, blocked away. That ball saved in by Mike Palmer.
Hustle. It's a winning play right there.
Come back this way. Palmer into Hawkins. Get the bucket. No call on the contact. So here's the thing, Coach. I say this every game. If that's not a foul now, it better not be a foul in the fourth.
I agree. Like we talked about before, I know there's been a lot of discussion now with the officials, and I think they've done a fabulous job this year.
Cooper Lewis. I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss him.
So am I. It's fun to watch.
I said he's the best guard in the state since Dallin Hall. Would you agree with that?
I don't know about that. He's a good player for sure. There's been some good players. Give me a couple.
I mean, just since Dallin.
Since Dallin. I have bad memories of Dallin.
The three from Stockton Blanchard.
Dallin was phenomenal.
Hawkins.
And how about BYU last night?
How about Dallin Hall last night?
How about Dallin Hall?
Hawkins hits that fall away.
We've been talking about Dallin the last couple games in struggle, and then last night, pretty incredible. It's great. Foul trouble and all.
Yeah, foul trouble. I had 4 fouls with over 10 minutes left in that game.
Yeah, it was like 14.
Well, that goes out of bounds. It's what I love about this coverage. Dallin was our former Mr. Rewind in that 2020 year before the world ended. And then, but now, so I text him after games. I just love that kid to death.
Yeah. Great leader, good kid. Yeah.
Great family.
Cared about winning. I mean, great teammate, great leader. Great job. And I don't want to take away from Cooper. Cooper's phenomenal. And you know, his game, we played them when he was a freshman.
Right.
And he's transformed his game and he pull up on the mid-range, true jump shot, which, you know, is unique in high school basketball. So Cooper's phenomenal. Same mindset as Dallin, good leader, good teammate.
Oh, he put it on the floor, did Cale Barclay, and there's a score. Quincy Lewis is beside himself. He wanted a traveling violation, but I think Barclay was smart enough to put that on the floor.
Yep. Well, and you saw a couple maybe travels by Lehi. The rest held off on those as well. So I like it. I like the hold off on that one.
Cooper going to take the final shot. 5 seconds. Pulls up. Junction extended.
Tough.
That's the Dwayne Wade shot. As that shot goes from Cooper Lewis. Carl Mulford at the horn. No. And what a first quarter. At the end of one, it's Herriman 17, Lehi 15. The winner moves on to take on Corner Canyon. We'll be back with the second quarter after this. You're watching the 2024 6A State Tournament presented by Heidemann Associates and brought to you by NutriCost. Welcome back in. Dusty Litster and Coach Chad Sims with you as we get ready for the second quarter. And I always say this, to support those companies that jump in to support us. And NutriCost has jumped in to help us out, make things work as we've tried to expand our broadcast, bring people in, do different things. Go on to NutriCost.com. You already take the supplements. There's over 300 supplements available on their website. Use the code UTAHMADE. Get 30% off as that passes off the mark, taken by Brousseau. But, Chad, what did you think of that first quarter?
It was great. I loved your comments in the break. Cooper's the type of kid that can carry a team, and he is. And I just see some other guys step up with him, defensively especially.
Palmer thought he'd get fouled, didn't. Johnson's putback wouldn't go. And now on the run with Hawkins. Hawkins in the lane. Give that to Brousseau. The awareness of Easton Hawkins, and he'll be back next year. He's a junior.
You see, the rest of the Lehigh guys are seniors, right?
The starters, yes. But then they got a terrific younger group coming up.
Yep. Yeah, we played them this year, and they were a great group.
I did that one. That was one of the ones I got to your gym this year.
Good. Love to have you up there.
Usually Alex Napolis gets your games, or Alex Tumlip.
Yeah. You guys did a great job all year. We really appreciate all you guys do for high school basketball.
We appreciate you. I mean, you're one of the charter members. As Al have a shot clock violation as that was going down. But Davis, one of the charter members, and none of that, you're part of my sales pitch to coaches, especially ones who are like, well, I don't want all my games available online. I'm like, Davis wins the state championship. We did every game that year.
Well, I think at this day and age, film's available for anybody that can get a hold of it.
Right.
So, and I think it's good for kids. I think it's good for kids and programs, brands them a little bit. I know Lone Peak does a good job. You guys do their games, and football, right?
Yeah, we do football. We do football, boys and girls basketball at Lone Peak.
Yeah, it's great. I think it's good for kids.
Send it out to Moore.
That's a winning play right there. If that kid can hit that, great pass, great shot.
That's Mitch Stratford kind
there
of
it
stuff.
Is. Yep.
Right?
Got memories of that.
20-17. That ball outside with Barclay. Now near side with Ike Palmer. He's yet to get going offensively. Don't tell me Quincy Lewis is getting old. Some people try to tell me he's nearing the end. Just watch him on the sideline. And that end is not anytime near. Inside, Malcolm Johnson powers it up. No. Loose ball. Johnson out of bounds off of Johnson. That ball. Oh, that's a mistake. They need to get together on this. We've got it right here. Malcolm Johnson hit that ball out of bounds.
Yeah, and Malcolm's got to just keep playing hard and not worry about it getting hit. Sometimes he gets a little bit emotional. It's fine being emotional. Just keep emotions in check because he's key for this team. They need him to stay in the game and stay locked in. Keep playing hard, young fella. You're doing great.
So they're going to keep it here with a 3-point Lehi lead. Carlo Mulford looking inside to Johnson. Carlo slip it. Now to the corner. Cale Barclay.
Pass.
For three.
Great pass. They need him. Herriman needs him.
You know, if there was a guy to come in and take over at Herriman that has a bunch of bigs, Doug Meacham's a pretty good one. Because that guy always had multiple bigs at AF.
Doug's a great coach. Tons of respect. Kids are responding to him.
He had those years with Rawson and Andrus and Bailey. If it weren't for Quincy Lewis, Frank Jackson, TJ Haas, and Zach Frampton and Connor Toulson, he may have had a couple championships. As inside, Lewis, no. And even had Spencer Johnson at that point, too, speaking of last night's game in Kansas.
Yep.
Oh, nice extra pass from Blanchard.
Good pass.
And Herriman reclaims the lead, 22-20. Two great crowds on hand, too, as Cooper off on the three. Rebound out of bounds. Oh, of a foul.
Called a foul. How many's that on Brousseau? One?
Yeah, I think it's the first on Grayson. No, number 2 on Grayson. So he and Johnson are both leaving the floor. And it's a immediate timeout. Yeah, they got him for that slap there with Grayson.
So Doug's made an adjustment defensively on Cooper as well. Palmer's off. Sub comes in. I like the rotation by Doug right now. He's doing a good job.
4:56 left in the second quarter. We'll call this a Utah Facial Plastics timeout. We always say in sports, if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. The same thing in life. If you look good, you'll feel good. And if you feel good, you'll be better at every aspect in your life and you feel better. And go get help at Utah Facial Plastics. One of the things is hair loss. Guys start losing their hair. They start losing a little bit of confidence. They start feeling different. You don't have to accept it. You can get some help. Go to Utah Facial Plastics, 801-960-3137. And also, let's go to our handles trivia question of the night. I'm not going to bring it on the camera this one. Quincy Lewis has coached 8 state championship teams, one of those at Lehi. Which Lehi boys basketball coach has the most Lehi state championships? I know this one.
I think I know, too. I might. I don't know. I'm not.
We'll wait a bit, because I'll give you a gift card, Chad, if you know this. We'll wait a bit, because I know I've got Lehi people who are going to light me up, because they got mad at a state tournament. We had a stat snafu, and I had a lot of people went off on me for messing it up.
I think I know.
You can tell me during timeout, because
okay.
I know you know. I see your face, you know.
Maybe. I hope.
When I started broadcasting, this coach was at a different school. Got to know him. It was a lot of fun.
If it is who I think it is, I know his family fairly well. In fact, his son lives in my neighborhood. There's a little connection there.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
If I know, I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Well, maybe I'm going to be wrong, because I think I know the answer.
Okay, then maybe I'm second guessing myself now.
Well, Lehi won the first 2 state championships in activities history, 1908 and 1909, when classifications were A and B.
Okay, so I'm off then, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I could be off too, because I think I know who it is. They send this one out, the 3 on the way, in and out, tipped around, and now taken by Lewis. He lost it.
It's tough.
Ike Palmer, extra opportunity. Carlo Mulford fits it into Barclay. Barclay lost it on the way up. That ball should stay here. Yeah, it's out of bounds off of Lehi. Pioneers try to sell it. Now off the foot of Jace John. It's interesting. Austin Bigelow, we were talking with his grandmother, as that ball lobbed in to Malcolm Johnson. And she's 93 years old, adamant sports fan. And we're saying we're going to do state championships. So who's the favorites in A and B? Austin didn't know there was A, B classifications. I only know because that was when Carbon was a powerhouse back in the day. There's a 3 on the way, goes in and out.
Good shot. I liked it. I like that shot. It's in rhythm. Makes a big difference if you can hit that.
So 24-20 and a chance for the Herriman Mustangs to get up by 6 or more.
This pace is going to benefit Herriman right now. They played this way all year. I know Coach has coached this way. He's coached this style and this pace. His kids feel comfortable with it.
Quincy Lewis saw that switch. Really, Hawkins kind of cheated over there, right, Coach? You see that one more time? Looked like Hawkins kind of went quick to that hedge.
And Mulford will hurt you. Like I said, I think him going to the left. I don't know his team that well, but from the scouting report we had, going to the left, he feels a lot more comfortable.
Well, they called that on the floor as well. Inside, Ike Palmer, Cale Barclay, Ike Palmer.
Gosh, the execution of Herriman in the half court right now is great.
Those two were part of our Utah Top 50 coverage this year. They were on the same team with the Utah Top 50. 3:30 left in the half. Lewis.
That's a foul.
No call. No call on the contact.
That's a foul.
Quincy can't believe it.
Got hit on the arm.
Yeah. I might think it's called the obvious ones. Let's
yeah. We're talking about how good the officials are doing.
Yeah.
Then they pull that out.
Hey, we're going to let you play, but it's like, hey, let's call the obvious ones. As a drive, and that's take and make by Ike Palmer. How about Herriman? First ever semifinal. Who knew it?
We felt this on Monday. You have to stay attached to Johnson to keep him off the boards, and then you don't have a defensive rotation. It just makes it hard. It's difficult. But the pace, like I said, is benefiting Herriman, I think. They love that pace. I've watched them. They're comfortable with it. They don't panic. They get the ball where they want it to go. And for Lehi, they just got to get stops and clean rebounds to get out and transition a little bit, get some easy looks.
It's going to check and see if we've got any answers on here. We got 2 chats come in. No, neither of them are the answer. So, that I know of. Vince, will you text me the answer so I know when we get them to come in? 3:05 left in the half. Just a great start for Ike Palmer and Cale Barclay and others. They played outstanding basketball. And this is what Doug Beecham, you kind of knew you were going to get.
Well, Doug's made that sub. He's made that adjustment defensively on Lewis. He's got number 20 playing him off the bench, which allows Ike Palmer to be off the ball a little bit, keep him out of foul trouble. Johnson can hang around the rim.
It's Jaden Newman.
And he's capable of hitting the shots, too. He hit a 3 against us.
And there's Easton Hawkins.
Easton's going to have to step up and make some plays.
Yeah. Well, I know they're out-of-state games. Now, granted, some of those teams come in here in the Utah, and we're just going to run these guys off the floor. And there was a couple of those teams. They played one from St. Louis and others, one from Fort Lauderdale. That's a nice play by Reed Bromley. They're going to give him the foul.
Oh.
Let's take a look, Coach.
Like I said, when you make Mulford get to his right hand, I mean, I know he can finish with both hands, but he seems to be a little more efficient with the left. I don't know about that call either. It was a little tough. Thought Bromley did a good job. And you could tell Herriman recognized that matchup they wanted with Mulford and down to the rim.
That free throw is good. Carlo Mulford, just a sophomore.
Did you see Doug's old team, Snow Canyon?
I didn't get to see that team. They didn't.
Well, they beat Dixie the other day.
Oh, okay. So I see what you're saying.
Just recently, his old
then
team,
Cottonwood
right?
got him.
Oh, yeah.
And then Cottonwood beat Snow Canyon.
Yeah.
How about Mark Miller? How about the job Mark Miller?
Yeah.
And I think we talked about this with Casey Walkenhurst. I think this last realignment is the best realignment we've had in a long time. I think they got a lot of things right.
For sure. And I wish there was more teams in 6A, but the alignment and the teams are where they should be. Competitive.
Yeah, I think getting Murray, Cottonwood, Granger, Hunter, that whole area down to 4A is very good to help them rebuild.
Yeah.
And now we have a foul away from the ball. Again, our point earlier, just call the obvious ones, is Cooper Lewis got absolutely...
I'm sure Quincy would give that one up if they would have called the one on the jump shot. He took
that's true on that
possessions
three.
Earlier, yeah.
But yeah, Mark Miller and Cottonwood gets to the 4A championship, and now we got a foul again. This is, I think, officials we've heard called game control fouls.
Yeah.
So, hey, let's get this reel back in a little bit.
For sure. Like I said, it's a veteran crew. They're a great crew. I've had these guys before. A lot of respect for these guys. I know what they're doing.
Reed Bromley popped open there.
Yeah, he did. He popped open on the backside. They got switched up, and he was open.
And you're aware of the prowess of the Reed Bromley three.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to overly remind you, but we always feel bad when we cut up highlights and put them on our social media on games that we worked on together to do.
Yep.
And Reed Bromley, someone was like, As I send that in to Malcolm Johnson. I'm not sure. As Malcolm Johnson fouled Grayson Brousseau, like, what do I got to do? Let's take a look and see maybe if he came down a minute.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
He stayed vertical.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Mr. Fish said he came down. I didn't see that.
You know, with Herriman, we tried trapping them a little bit on Monday as well, and they're really good at getting the ball to the high post. That time right there, Ike flashed to the high post, and they look opposite. That's coaching. That's a good job by Doug and his coaching staff. His teams try to speed him up or get him out of rhythm a little bit by trapping him, whether it be on-ball screens with Carlo or up top right there to change the pace of the game, and Herriman does a really good job attacking that, get the ball to the high post.
There we go. The correct answer came in. Coach Justin Snell from Springville. So his coaches, Dave Philomohala.
That was my guy.
He won 3, 96, 97, and 98.
So his son lives in my neighborhood. I know the Philomohalas very well, yeah.
When I got into this, he was coaching at Hunter.
Yep.
Where he'd also won a state championship.
Yep.
The 3 on the way from Lewis. No.
It's a good shot.
To Coach Justin Snell, you get a $10 gift card to Handles.
Where's my gift card? That was my guess.
I got you too.
Okay,
I'll take care of you.
All right. Nah.
We've had plenty of answers gone unanswered, questions gone answered this week as Hawkins gets that one up and in. Wants to have a movie quote, song lyric, or show quote. You'll get a 4-pack of cookies from Crumble. There you go, Coach. Because I knew you knew. That's a redeemable 114 South, Fort Union or Ogden. We got a foul.
Oh.
And it's going to go against Malcolm Johnson.
No. It's the other way. It's got to go the other way.
He dug.
Oh, wow.
Let's see if we got this on the replay. I waited a second to.
Ooh, I don't know. Did they get that right?
I don't know. I waited a second before I hit because I can go back 5 or 10 seconds, and I waited just 2 seconds too long. We didn't get the front end of that.
I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They got it right. I'm wrong.
It's always hard when you see the inside player go down and then the foul goes on that inside player.
Yeah. It looked like he was on the floor first, and maybe it was on him.
Cooper Lewis. Oh, man. That's tougher than you think when that guy's at your feet. James Harden's coming down on his head to get that foul call. Cooper Lewis didn't, as Malcolm Johnson was laying right underneath his feet. 4-point ball game, 32-28. Big shot from Cooper. Lob it inside. Cale Barclay. Spin inside. Got around Cowan and scores.
Great move.
Great job of staying patient.
Yep. Yeah, they don't panic down there. They know where they want the ball to go, and they stay with it.
Kind of hard for those high school kids, and especially on this end, you got that student section and the parents behind the hoop screaming and yelling. They want 3 seconds. They want everything, and he stayed nice and patient.
Easier said than done, and I think you have to do it during the regular season, so when they get in the big moments, they're not surprised by it. So
Bromley gives that one up. He's yet to get loose for 3. Cooper Lewis, he didn't get the call on the kick out. Sent it back to the corner. Moore stepped out of bounds.
Dang it.
Cooper kind of went that college rule. He went the kick out. I'll give that one to the officials. They didn't fall for the kick out.
Yeah, I thought he kicked his legs out too. I thought I tried to avoid him.
Quincy is wearing him out tonight. As there's Carlo Mulford, sends that one back to Stockton Blanchard. And that's how the first half will end. And a great first half for Herriman. They lead Lehi 34-28 as we go to the break. We'll come back with the halftime performances. It's been a long day today. Man, I got words on my head. All right. As always, our coverage brought to you by Heidemann Associates. And this week brought to you by NutriCost. Go to NutriCost.com. Use the code UTAHMADE and get 30% off. We'll be right back. Welcome back in. Dusty Lister, Coach Chad Sims with you as we get ready for the second half. And only a 6-point game. These kids aren't used to the TV timeouts. We spoil them. We stream all week long because we don't time things out. We don't send down media timeouts or when we're going to come back or anything like that. But so
it's an adjustment. I mean, when we've been down here in the semis and the finals, and sometimes it catch you off guard, like, whoa, timeout, TV timeout. So strategically, you can use them to your advantage. Both Coach Meacham and Coach Lewis, they know what they're doing. They've been this before, so you can use them to your advantage, especially with momentum swings and stuff like that. So sometimes the kids it takes a little bit of time to adjust to it.
They usually smooth kind of quick and get going. Coach, if you're Quincy Lewis, what's the adjustment you make here in the second half?
Well, I think you got to get Brousseau and Lewis in some sort of action, and then he'll taking. But as Herriman makes adjustments defensively with traps or trying to get the ball in their hands, they're going to have guys step up. Hawkins is going to have to hit something. Bromley's going to have to hit something. If Lehi can get clean stops and clean rebounds and get out and run a little bit, I think it'll be good for them. If they're playing half court and Herriman's taking 25 seconds off the clock and finishing possessions and Lehi's taking the ball out of the net, that's going to be hard for Lehi.
Right. Herriman, all the good things that worked. I mean, what is it that you continue to do? I mean, we've seen this yesterday. It doesn't mean much once we switch sides.
Good pass.
Breed Bromley.
He's got to hit it. Well, it looks like Herriman's doing the same thing. Matchups are the same. They're going to follow the same format. It's been pretty protocol with these guys all year.
So come off the screen with Carlo Mulford. Gets inside out. Cale Barclay. Short on the three. The rebound to Reed Bromley.
Might take a minute for these guys to get their legs back and get going and get some momentum because both those shots were short, and they're good shooters.
Easton Hawkins step back to three.
There's another one. Just a miss.
Carlo even got a little bit to that one.
Yep.
As come back down the floor. Barclay inside.
Foul.
And then the foul going to be called.
Barclay does a really good job in transition. Rim runner, buries himself underneath the rim. A lot of young kids, they'll just run to the block and take themselves away from the basket. He runs right to the rim, posts up.
It's interesting. We always talk about the 9:30 a.m. tip. What's it like to play this late at night?
I would rather play later at night than the earlier ones. I think the earlier ones are tough. I mean, it's tough to be this late, but these kids are up late anyway. Right?
They don't know. Well, I think in this building, when you get them set up like this, you have no idea what time of day it is.
Nah.
It's like
being the casino in Vegas, right?
Exactly what I was going to say. That was actually exactly what I was going to say. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Especially for us. That's why when we call games at 10 in the morning or 9:30 in the morning, like, hey, great job tonight. Because we don't remember. Oh, it's Cowan. Says, if you're going to put up on the tee, I'll just knock it out.
Great job. Great job. I thought, yeah, Carlo had Johnson in the post. I would put it down to the big guy right there, but.
Good look on the Utah facial play. As they're going to lob that ball inside.
Tough.
And that gets away from Herriman. It's going to go back to Lehi. Kind of the golden age of Lehi athletics right now, Coach. Football's won 2 state championships recently under Coach Larson. The baseball team won a state championship. We're in another state title last year. Quincy Lewis won a title 3 years ago.
It's kind of funny how that stuff kind of follows a school, right? You get this atmosphere and you get this confidence with a certain school. Bleeds over to other sports. It's a culture.
What a take and finish
Great
by
play
Cooper
there.
Lewis.
Back cut. That was a set. Good job by Coach Lewis.
Well, now they got great coaches. You have Ed Larson in football, Quincy Lewis in basketball. Now Eric Madsen's the head baseball coach, the former legendary UVU head coach. As Stockton Blanchard for
tough.
3.
Good extra pass by Carlo. Good job.
It's the coach's son. Coach Blanchard did a great job. Lehi's owed one, but they're going to say we still have an answer. All right, it'll be Herriman ball.
I miss Coach Blanchard, having him around. He's good coach. I learned a lot from him, watching him and being around him, having conversations. You can see a little bit of a fingerprint on this team too with him probably helping coaching these kids as they're growing up with his own son.
Yeah, he's a VP now at Herriman.
Yep. Great guy, great coach.
He still owes us a shooting contest between he and Skylar Wilson. We never got it. Because he got mad at me for not talking about the fact that he played college basketball too. His backside, Barclay blocked away, and they get the foul on Hawkins.
Great pass by Johnson. You know, some of the stuff that Andrew used to run at Copper Hills, I've stole from him, and some of the same plays I see Herriman running right now, we run him. So, good stuff. That's what coaches do, copy each other,
You
right?
have to. I mean, it's a copycat league. That's what we always say in football.
Coach Gardner runs really good stuff at Skyridge, so love watching those guys.
I've heard he's like a Tom Izzo-ish kind of guy. I heard he has a huge playbook. Speaking of Jeff Gardner.
Oh, he does, man. Yeah, and he knows everybody else's play, too. Like,
It's funny, I brought up all of his spreadsheets. I knew he had a bunch of spreadsheets. He's like, I get a little crazy with my spreadsheets.
What does he do on Sunday? Just sit and draw plays all day?
Well, he told me he doesn't watch movies. He doesn't really listen to podcasts. He listens to audiobooks. And
well, I believe it.
And
he's good at his craft. He does a really good job.
If you are lucky enough to follow him on Instagram, you get to see all the games he goes to.
You know, a couple of my own players have said, Coach, we watched Skyridge play the other day, and did you steal that play from them, or did they steal it from us? I'm like, it wasn't me.
Cowan inside, kiss it off the glass. Because I also know Jeff's watching. One of my favorite stories is I was a big Cleveland Indians fan. His dad was a big Indians fan, or is still. Yep. Jeff now goes to Guardians games. I won't call him that. But one of their early children were expecting. Albert Bell was in their Lamaze classes. And Albert Bell's one of my favorite players of all time.
Tough pass.
As a steal, here comes Cooper Lewis. Cooper goes at Kel Barclay and gets the lay-in.
Can't pull away. Lehi's doing just enough. Getting stops.
I'm sure Jeff's going to text and say that I misquoted him. It's probably somebody else. So here we go, 5-point ball game. We love close games. This energy is going to get picked up as Herriman's a little quiet, even though their team's up by 5. Barclay stolen away.
Another stop. 2 steals in a row.
Here comes Hawkins. Inside, got around the defender, and Easton Hawkins makes it a 3-point game. I'm not sure what Quincy wanted. Quincy was so far out on the floor. Nice take and make by Easton Hawkins.
Looks like Herriman's a little bit out of rhythm. Not moving the ball side to side like they were in the first half. Not getting the ball where they wanted to go. They're trying to post up 15 feet from the basket and backing guys down to the rim. That's not going to work.
30-second timeout. This is Utah Facial Plastics timeout. We've got to thank Utah Facial Plastics for sponsoring our replay and then also our timeouts. So call 801-960-3137. We'll set up a consultation with Utah Facial Plastics. And we talk about all the time, it's not just about cosmetic surgery for looks. Sometimes it can be, many times it will be, but it's also improvement of your life. If you have deviated septum, you got other things, but also hair loss. If you're losing your hair or ladies losing your hair, and it's going to hurt your confidence. If you want to find out there's something you can do, go to Utah Facial Plastics, 801-960-3137. And we also call us Brotox because I got Botox injections back around Christmas because of a little wisdom line I was getting right there. It was really bugging me.
Well, there's a lot of wisdom up there, man.
That's what
Don't be afraid.
The Dr. Henstrom said, hey, we can keep the wisdom there and just get rid of the line.
I like it.
And it works. I mean, it made me feel a little better. But go to Utah Facial Plastics. Ask for Dr. Henstrom if you can. Any doctor there is great, but Dr. Henstrom happens to be family. 801-960-3137.
Where are they going here?
I think you're going through, you got to go through 13, right? You got to go. Ike Palmer is their leading scorer. They've actually ended up a lot in the hands of 24. But I could go two-man game, maybe he and Mulford.
Yeah, probably a little bit. Probably Mulford. They like them. I know they tried to go at Bromley a couple times here.
There's Barclay up top. Now out to Ike Palmer. There's Carlo.
Yep, UCLA on ball.
Well, they went two-man with Mitchell. Or sorry, not Mitchell, with Johnson. And there's a foul going to be called on Reed Brom. I did it again. That's his dad. That's his dad. I knew I was going to do it.
I love the way
Bryson
Bromley's
Bromley.
playing him. He's making him get to his right hand, make him make a tough shot. Bill not with the foul.
Coach Reed Bromley, a longtime assistant for Quincy Lewis. His mother, Rhonda Bromley, a former principal at Lone Peak. Also our connection at Crumble. We thank Rhonda for helping us out, giving stuff for our pop culture questions.
You know, I think Herriman's going to have Carlo make some plays. Whether he hits a shot, gets to the rim, kicks it out, and he's capable. He's a good player.
And Mulford makes it a 5-point game. Here comes Cooper Lewis, crossover, down the lane. Johnson is able to get it up and in. Nice take and finish by Cooper Lewis.
They're sitting Brousseau with his 3, right? 3 fouls.
Yeah, he got that 3rd foul on the rebound.
He got 4 minutes out of it, and he put him back down.
And lobbed that ball inside to Johnson. Johnson has someone on his back, and Malcolm able to get that one to go. Such a capable guy. As now he's going to get the foul. That was a heads-up attack there by Hawkins.
How many is that on Johnson?
Number 2. Malcolm's very aware. You know, he physically, now especially physically. Have you seen Robert Whaley lately? Young man out of Bountiful?
I did. I watched him at UNLV,
Holy
right?
Hannah.
Yeah.
See some of those dunks?
Yes. And he's playing a lot. He's doing a great job. It's pretty impressed.
I got to find out what his eating regimen is because he's trimmed down. He's awesome.
Yeah. I was watching the game the other day and watched him. I thought, geez, there's Robert Whaley's kid.
Somehow the dunks ended up in my Instagram algorithm. Well, that can't be our Robert Whaley.
Yeah.
And it is.
Yeah.
So the foul was called on Jaden Newman. He's out here with Cooper Lewis. Cooper step back, lost the handle, fired inside. Nice extra pass. Cowan goes at Johnson and scores.
It's hard to trap the ball in the middle of the floor because you have so much space. We learned that on Monday with Carlo.
Because you leave so much room, right? Because it's just the floor's still even.
Yeah, it's easier to do it on the wing for sure.
Here comes Mulford. Pulls and short. Come back the other way. Here comes Hawkins. Hawkins is trying to slow this up, not make a mistake. We talk about switching sides of the floor. It has been a thing all week. Cooper, 4-3. Chad Sims do it. And Cooper ties it at 43. Coach, this sides of the floor. It's been all week long. Big time 3 from Cooper Lewis. 2:18 left in the 3rd quarter. Cooper with the big time shot. Timeout on the floor. We'll be right back. Huntsman's rocking. So out of the timeout, see if Herriman can find their legs. They look a little sluggish coming out of the break. Send that one out as Cooper Lewis gets his hands on it.
That was a design hammer play on the backside.
I've loved that pass that's kind of come into play now that since you throw it along the baseline but out of bounds to get to the corner.
Yeah.
There's Barclay trying to back his way down against Moore and one. Cale Barclay.
That's tough.
Great take and make.
Looks like he hooked him with his left hand right there. Got a little edge on him and finished. His length causes problems.
Well, there's one thing you can't fix speed. You can't fix bigs, right?
I don't even know if I don't know if I could coach a big. I don't know how to coach bigs. Do I?
That's true. You haven't had one.
Nah, not for a little while. I'd like to see the energy of Herriman right here on the defensive end. See if they pick it up. These guys have the momentum.
Cooper Lewis has hit a crazy tough shot. Comes back the other way. Fall away. Crawls in. Tied at 45. Great shot maker.
Looks like Ike's having a hard time staying in front of him. Maybe might see Johnson as an adjustment.
Late trying to get that ball into Malcolm Johnson. Ball slapped away. We'll get the quarter stats.
Little lob here for Johnson.
Drop that in. We have a hold on that entry pass.
Number 5, Dave Galvin with his second. Team foul number 5.
Just trying to remember if Cooper signed or not. Last I knew, I think he was really interested in going to Ivy League.
Really?
Last I knew, yeah.
It's a good route.
I learned a little bit more about what it's like to be in the Ivy League. I was able to talk to someone that was very close to the situation.
You're an employee, right?
Well, because there's no scholarship, right? But there's like, hey, depending on the school you go to, is the off-season connections to learn and have off-season work.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to Columbia, or I'm not sure what they do at Harvard. I've heard from different people. Columbia, man, you can get jobs at, just learning banking, different things. And if they were to get an NIL, that would be a world of change.
Deal breaker, right?
As that does not go. Rebound to Hawkins.
2 missed free throws.
He goes 1 of 2, so 46-45. They're going to step that over to Moore. 4-3. His second.
Tough shot.
And now Lehi ahead. We talked about the swap and sides. The momentum it's real. It's been a very real thing, and there's a turnover. Here comes Hawkins. Sends out to Cooper Lewis. Cooper back to Easton. Reed Bromley's begging, or probably Bryson probably begging for it. Couldn't get it to him. Here comes Moore on the rebound. Let's reset the shot clock. And it picked up by Mulford.
Good play by Carlo.
Man, Lehi was wanting to seize everything right there. Just could not get it done. Mulford, back rim, the rebound, tipped by Lewis, out of bounds off of Cooper. It should stay here and will with the Herriman Mustangs.
Carlo can hit that. I don't mind that shot.
Well, it almost works a little bit to your benefit. 1 second difference in game clock and shot clock, so you can get the final shot of the quarter. And let's say this, how great is the shot clock for the state tournament?
Yeah, it's great.
It has changed the state tournament.
Yeah.
Last 2 minutes, games coach, I would use to pull my head back and just drive me nuts.
I could imagine.
And it ruined one of my favorite cliches. And I say, remember, no shot clock, Utah High School basketball. There's Carlo Mulford with 20 seconds on the game clock, 17 on the shot clock, 16-15. Nearly identical. Carlo comes off the screen of Johnson, goes to the corner, pulling for three is Palmer, and he got it.
Tough shot.
49-48, and that's how the third quarter ends. Cale Barclay, or probably Ike Palmer, 4-3. We'll come back with a fourth and a 1-point Herriman lead. You're watching the 6A semifinals.
This is apple cider vinegar from NutriCost. This is apple cider vinegar from another leading brand. NutriCost has 500 milligrams of apple cider vinegar. So does this other brand. NutriCost is third-party tested, non-GMO, and gluten-free. This other brand? Well, we're not sure. NutriCost is also available at a great price delivered right to your door. NutriCost has over 500 different products for health and wellness. NutriCost, only what you need.
This is game 24, right? Yeah, game 24 of 28 this week, and it's a 1-point game going into the fourth quarter. Lehi and Herriman. Herriman with the 1-point lead. They could get to their first ever state championship game in boys basketball. This is their first ever semifinal. Oh, my bad.
Got it. I think it's going to come down to guard play, like I mentioned. I think Carlo's got to make some plays. Obviously, Cooper's going to have the ball in his hands. How well they play is going to determine how it goes. I know it's not rocket science, but guard play is a big deal. Great set out of the quarter.
Inside to Johnson as he gets the lay-in.
Johnson's face guarding Hawkins.
Give a cheap one away from the hoop. I always mention this, that officials tell us there's red to blue area. Away from the course, the closer you get to mid-court, to the three-point line, they don't give any contact out there. As you get closer to the rim, the more blue it is, meaning it gets colder, we're not going to call anything. And you get some contact up top, that's when you get those whistles.
Yep. He'll hit it.
Reed Bromley. Probably Bryson Bromley, if I start calling him his real name. I don't know, that's stuck in my head and I can't fix it.
He's probably fine with it.
His sisters are probably mad at me.
Yeah.
So 3-point Herriman lead.
His dad's a good guy anyway.
Outside with Palmer. We got As Barclay goes baseline.
Ooh.
Oh, and Anderson kind of hung up in the air there. He almost did a Tom Chambers-ish. Got a little body bump and stayed up in the air. See it here.
It's like all ball up top.
I didn't see the officials answer if it was he got him with the body. Beckham Willis checked in, I believe, for the first time today. At least he hadn't touched the ball. As the shot is, their free throw good there from Barclay. And then the lead to 4. And you think back to that possession, Coach, when it was a 2-point lead for Lehi. They got the steal. They came down the floor and didn't get any points. Ended up turning it over.
Yeah, that was a big possession. Had an opportunity to go up.
Yeah, they really had a chance at the hammer there. You know, sometimes you're a pigeon and sometimes you're a statue.
Herriman's going 1 for 2 every time to the free throw line. You got to knock those down.
Bryson leaves it for Brousseau.
Where's that call on that end, right?
Yeah, again, is it going to hold the final minute of this game if it's close? Palmer pumped the 3, still can't get it off. Good job by Hawkins.
Yes, great job.
Step back,
Good
kill
pass.
Barclay. No, and the rebound tipped out.
Oh.
And now, oh, man, that's a tough one on Johnson. Oh, man. Because who has the position of that when he's just trying to tap it out?
50-50 ball. I don't know if he fouled him. I don't know if it would have made a difference. He just tried to tip it out. That's a tough one for a kid trying to just get to the ball and tip it out.
So Johnson comes off the floor with the fouls. No, they're going to keep him out there.
It's 3.
Hey, you know what? Let's applaud what we saw there. They brought out the brooms. We haven't had that this week. Get some blood issues and stuff. You guys are out there with the rags like we're being in the high school gyms.
This guy
like we're in a place where they have those
semifinals. Wow, it's a big deal.
Yeah. 4-point Herriman lead. Cooper Lewis locked
great
away.
play by Carlo.
Carlo feeds out ahead to Palmer. And then Bromley tried to do the same thing. And they said, no, it's a foul. And then I don't think they're calling on the shot, are they?
Are they? 2 shots?
No,
Nope,
put it on the
underneath.
baseline. So they're saying it was on the gather. Not it. They got to upload his habitual shooting motion. If you don't upload the habitual shooting motion, officials don't know.
They don't know. They don't know if he's shooting or not.
One of my favorite running gags Dana and I have had ever since we learned that phrase. That's how it's written in the rule book. The shots are awarded when a player's in his habitual shooting motion. It's like, well, how do you know what his habitual shooting motion is?
Little seal on the backside over the top.
Lob in. Barclay surrounded. They're going to go out of bounds off of Lehi. Brousseau tried to sell it.
It's a play that Coach Gardner runs. I've seen him run at Skyridge. Everyone copycat, right?
Yeah.
Run that for Kohler.
Johnson straight away with Palmer. Fire that inside to Barclay. And those guards come down on that. Palmer's 3, no. That's off of Brousseau. And again, another possession for Herriman.
I think that's the right call. Looks like it went off Brousseau.
So we can see it on this. So I thought it went off Grayson as well. Yeah.
That's a tough angle.
And now the foul going to be called on Anderson. Oh, no. This is going to go out of bounds.
Yeah, he called it out. They're trying to get Johnson on those base out of bounds plays with some lob. Probably discussing the shot clock right here.
I think 34.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I will take the stoppage to get shot clocks right than not having a shot clock at all.
I agree. It's been great for the game. In fact, it hurt us this year, actually. We had Leighton and we had the ball with the lead, and we had to take a shot that we missed, and they came down and hit a shot to beat us. But I would prefer it for sure.
Oh,
whereas in the past, we just hold the ball, right? Go to free throw line.
But we just wait.
Yep.
I think back to your semifinal, one of the most crazy semifinals of all time against American Fort, when you fouled out their entire team.
Yep.
Except for Tanner Clough.
Yep.
Cooper Lewis, 4-3. Got him within 1. Anytime he wants it.
It's going to be interesting to see if one team can pull away. I mean, Herriman just had 3 tries to go ahead by 6 right there and couldn't get it. And Cooper comes down and hit 3.
Palmer. Send that over to Malcolm and the hands back. Carlo Johnson. Here's Ike. Along the baseline, floated up. No. Rebound to Cooper Lewis. Run out with Cooper, and then a good foul from Mulford.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear about we need to get clear path fouls in high school basketball. Please, heavens no. And especially the college nonsense intentional foul stuff.
Quincy's going to take a timeout here. I'm sure it's going to be some sort of on-ball screen with Rousseau and Cooper. I've seen Coach run this before. Something with Cooper in the middle of the court. Rousseau's slipping a screen, cutting to the hoop. But look for one of those two taking a shot.
Well, let's see when we come back. 4:48 left in the fourth. Welcome back into the Huntsman Center. Dusty Litster and Coach Chad Sims. Been a fun week of basketball, Coach. This is one of my favorite weeks.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, everything built up to this week, the atmosphere, the opportunity to play on this type of facility for these high school kids. They'll remember this for the rest of their life. You know, coming down to the end, there's 4 minutes. A lot of times coaches will have, simulate 4-minute games. We do during our season. It's who's going to win the next 4 minutes.
As Lewis goes to Brousseau. Grayson.
Good pass.
Junction J to Cowan, wide to left. You shoot that a lot. You get in these big moments. It's a little different.
They ran a little fake handoff there with Lewis, hoping Brousseau could get to the rim. Cowan found himself wide open. High-low had him. He had him.
Malcolm Johnson still holding up top. And now Mulford with Bryson Bromley. Come off the screen. Carlo gets downhill. That was Brousseau slapping that away. And that ball's going to stay with Herriman.
5 seconds on the shot clock.
How hard has it been to get your guys to remember that?
We usually shoot it way before the shot clock goes
well,
off.
Just being on the on out of bounds like this, sometimes I've learned that so many teams have struggled with it. Go in, and it's Palmer kissing off the window.
Just brought him back in the game. Gave him a quick breather.
Palmer now with 11.
Roll, little fold screen. Brousseau on the top.
Grayson goes around. Johnson. Block, absolutely. And it's going to put Grayson Brousseau at the line.
Yeah, I don't think Malcolm had to fall right there. Just stay in front of him and contest the shot. He tried to draw the charge and ended up tripping Brousseau at the basket. I think that's the right call, but that's 4, right?
I think they said 3. He was just...
Two shots for Lehi.
The mop's right behind on the stanchion. So this is where if I was running camera down there, Coach, I'd be grabbing that thing and be like, hey, let me get it real quick.
Yeah.
And one of the managers from Lehi just noticed, and he's offering. And that free throw is good from Grayson Brousseau. But I'm also one of those guys. I was at the Vegas Bowl in 2009, BYU versus Oregon State. And that win that night in Vegas was so bad that the net got stuck in the upright. Now, I can't jump. My buddy was with me, hurrying, jumps up there, was trying to grab it for them because we were on the sidelines covering the game. And I was like, hey, you can get it. I can't get it. Well, could have been a lane violation there. Brousseau hits that. I thought Carlo got in there really early.
They got Johnson out of the game. I wonder if that changes what we're doing offensively.
And timeout, Doug Meacham. Kind of little discombobulated for whatever reason. Just out of rhythm.
3 minutes to go in the game. I mean, Doug knows his team better than I do, but I'm riding Johnson even if he's got 4. You can tell your team's a little bit off offensively. I mean, he's probably got something in the back, his back pocket when Johnson is out offensively, but you can tell their kids a little bit second-guess themselves. So good timeout by Doug. See what they come up with here.
Again,
It's kind of a pivotal point, too. I mean, if Lehigh gets a stop and gets a shot, momentum goes back to Lehigh, and who knows what Herriman does with that.
this is game 24 of the week. We have 28 total between the 5A and 6A boys and girls state tournament. Remember, we'll have an off day tomorrow. How different is that? That we're going to be taking a day off, and we'll come back on Friday. We'll have the 5A championship, girls championship at 11 a.m. And then the 6A girls go after that. That'll be Lone Peak versus Copper Hills in a rematch of a game that I know the Lone Peak girls want back. It was one of their only losses on the year, as at least in state. And then we'll go to the 5A boys state championship game. It's already set up. Alta versus Olympus. Olympus won the second matchup in the last week of the regular season. And then the 6A state championship will be the final game of the evening. And it's Corner Canyon versus the winner of this game. Corner Canyon and Alta both looking for back-to-back titles. So get it back to Mulford off that inbound. Kel Barclay able to get that out. It's Jaden Newman who checked back into the game. Newman up top with Stockton Blanchard. Blanchard versus Lewis. Oh, there's a steal.
Just out of sorts. Yep, you got to get him back in.
Here comes Cooper. Up forward, Newman back on him, just like the matchup we had in the first half. Bryson Bromley sends that over to Hawkins. Cooper comes off the screen, fall away, no. And the rebound taken by Palmer. Newman in the corner, back up top to Palmer. I think if you're Herriman, you want to be, without Johnson on the floor, even without him, Coach, you want to be very deliberate with your possessions down the stretch?
I think the ball's got to stay in Carlos' hands. Him or I got to make a play.
We'll go pick and roll on that far side with
someone's got a second cut right there.
Newman into the corner. Blanchard
Big
wanted
shot.
it. Blanchard got it. Stockton Blanchard living up to the name. Clutch shot. And Hawkins turns it over. That pass from the baseline, trying to send it out. It's a dangerous one. Carlo Mulford on the reverse, and the score. Timeout, Doug Beecham. How about the 5-point spurt from the Mustangs?
Carlo made two great plays, got to the rim kick, extra pass to the corner. Blanchard knocked it down, then got on the open court, and he finished. Up on the right hand. Nice job. Carlo made plays.
2:12 left, and the Herriman Mustangs can feel it. We said it's their first ever semi. It'd be their first ever state championship game appearance. But, Coach, help me understand, when you get all that momentum, why the timeout from Doug Meacham?
I'm sure it's a matchup thing, maybe defensively, wanting to get Johnson back in the game. And to be honest, Doug's kind of played this pace all year from what I've seen. I mean, I don't know him as well as some of the other guys, but they're not afraid of playing this type of a pace, play half-court offense, half-court defense. So I think it probably is better for his team, for him to call a timeout, get organized defense, get Johnson back in the game, and they're not afraid of the pace. They just didn't want to give up maybe an easy bucket or a quick three going the other way.
2:12 left. Let's set up the situation here. Herriman has one timeout left. They also have 4 team fouls. So the next foul will be free throws for Lehi. Lehi has 4 timeouts left. They only have given up 2 fouls, and the possession arrow belongs to the Pioneers.
If there's somebody I want with the ball in his hands right now, it's Cooper Lewis.
Absolutely. Come off the screen of Hawkins. Cooper with Palmer on him. Forces up left hand, doesn't get it. Thought he'd get it called, didn't get either. The bucket or the foul. Down the floor with Mulford. Send it to the corner. Blanchard. Can't get that one to go. That's out of bounds.
Lehigh, yep.
Oh, we have a foul. And it's a loose ball foul and free throws.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Calling that on Ike Palmer. So we get a look at it.
It's definitely off, Ike. I don't know if it's a foul, though. That was a tough one. Maybe a make-up for when Lewis is going down the paint possession before, right?
And again, with all the contact, right, we've had tonight. They've allowed a lot of contact down low. And that's going to put Grayson Brousseau at the line for 2 free throws.
Again, I think the ball's got to stay in Carlos' hands for Herriman. Make the play.
Grayson gets the first. He was part of that state championship team. Played minutes in that championship game. And got the second. 59-55 on a night that Chad Sims loves. When Quincy won his title at Lehi at Slick, that was the 5A.
I do remember that.
Chance
was a fun
Trujillo.
night.
I ran into his parents this year, leaving a Davis game.
Oh, man. That was fun. It was a fun year. Chad was a great player. Great team. Fun team.
Minute and a half left. Here goes Carlo Mulford. Wraps it around. Stockton Blanchard. Another T3 for Stockton Blanchard.
Carlo making the right decision. And Blanchard stepping up to hit it.
Cooper Lewis. Force it up. No. As Bryson Bromley hits the deck hard.
Love the effort of that kid. He gives everything he's got. Plays battling for that rebound.
What a shot by
Tough
Blanchard.
shot. Yep. Blanchard hit 2 of them. Carlo making the right play.
He's dialed in. I thought the one he missed was going to go in as well. As Bromley gets that into Lewis. Cooper got that to Cowan. Now the corner. Bryson Bromley rolls it in. They didn't want to go down. Timeout. Quincy Lewis.
What a guy, man. Bromley battling for the rebound. Ends up on his back. And then gets his team a 3 in the corner.
You see his ball just did not want to go either. And he swirls it home.
Happy for that kid. Great job. 4-point game, 1 minute. Shot clock.
Shot clock would
love it.
And the timeouts really high. So take you through this as well. The clock will not stop on made buckets inside of a minute. So all the timeouts left for Quincy Lewis. Now they just all disappeared on the screen. So we can't track it on our stuff. Yeah, they have 3 left. So the only way they're gonna be able to stop it down 2 is with a timeout.
Yeah.
So taking that timeout there gets that reset. So 35-second shot clock, 3 timeouts left. Even when they score, they're gonna be able to stop the clock and set up their defense and trying to get the ball back.
I like what Lehi's doing here. Press, even if it's a token press, maybe you can get a deflection. Maybe Herriman makes a mistake and get a quick bucket. In the half court, I might. Are you fouling?
They got to get rid of some fouls. So you got 2 to give.
Yeah, you got to go for the ball here.
They're going to lob it up the floor to Johnson. And Johnson, the tight end, sends that one back out to Carlo Mulford. Malcolm, they're not looking for the shot. An old school stall. And now maybe give it up.
Yeah, you got.
Well, I guess you got one full possession. You can get it back with the shot clock.
Yep.
And with the timeouts, you can extend the game as well. But again, you're going to end up giving
at this point, don't
fouls.
foul now. You're down to 10 seconds. Don't foul now. Don't foul now. Don't foul now. Don't foul now. You're committed. Yep.
Blanchard. No, and the board to Barclay. Now you got to foul him. They got 3 fouls to give up.
He just turned it over.
And now the foul. So I think you'd rather the foul than have him inbound on the baseline.
Yeah.
Right? Because you got to get.
Yep.
That's team foul number 3.
Quincy's going to use one.
Timeout, Pioneers.
Dang, they got a shot, and they could have got the rebound.
So now it's going to come down to free throws for Herriman, and it is a full timeout. We'll take it as well. We'll be back. You're watching the 6A State Championship Basketball Tournament.
This is apple cider vinegar from NutriCost. This is apple cider vinegar from another leading brand. NutriCost has 500 milligrams of apple cider vinegar. So does this other brand. NutriCost is third-party tested, non-GMO, and gluten-free. This other brand? Well, we're not sure. NutriCost is also available at a great price delivered right to your door. NutriCost has over 500 different products for health and wellness. NutriCost, only what you need.
.31 seconds left in the ball game. Again, the situation, Lehi's got 1 foul to give before they can get to the bonus. And the shot clock is turned off at 31 seconds. Here's Palmer.
Oh, they
And
got
there's
it.
a steal.
They got it.
Here comes Hawkins. He's got Lewis in the corner. Cooper pulls.
Oh, my gosh.
3, and Cooper Lewis gets 3 free throws. Great defense by Hawkins and Cooper Lewis. And watch Mulford, gonna get him. Got him on the arm. So Cooper to the line.
Best case scenario for Lehigh, get a steal, free, pull within 1 point.
And the last 3 seconds are big. And 2 timeouts left for Lehigh. 1 timeout left for Herriman. Possession belongs to Lehigh as Cooper hits his second. And he can make it a 1-point game. And all that opens up a lot of things down 1. Because fouls will only put you down a 3-point field goal. And he goes 3 for 3. And now Quincy uses his second to last timeout. Chad, this is what we want. This is what we want. We don't cheer for teams. I tend to cheer for coaches that we get to know really, really well a little bit. It's like, hey, I don't care if you win, but it's like, it's fun. But this is what we want, are close games deciding things in the state tournament.
Yeah, it's great for these kids, too. Again, these kids will remember this moment for the rest of their life. 2 great coaches. Excited for both of them. You know, here with Herriman taking it out, they don't have to cross half court. Well, they will eventually. If you call a timeout, the 10-second clock resets. So eventually they will, but you don't have to be in a hurry here. Take care of the ball. Obviously, Lehigh's going to trap. It'll be interesting to see where Herriman gets the ball in and who they get the ball into.
How early would you give a foul if you're Lehigh?
I'd go 1 trap, and if they get out of the first trap, I'm fouling.
Yeah.
Because like you said, even if they make both free throws, it's a one-possession game, yeah. But, you know, the refs are doing a great job. Let them play. If you get a good trap and maybe you get a deflection or like they got a steal off Palmer the possession before, you don't have to foul. But I'm going 1 trap, and then I'm going to foul.
And the only thing you want the officials to do is to avoid a New York Knicks mistake that happened last night.
Oh, man. How was that?
That's the only one you want them to avoid. Like, I want them to play through lots of stuff, but that's a
foul, right?
Officials.
That was a foul.
That's such a foul. But you want them to, for them, I want them to avoid that. But they got to. We'll see where they let them play.
Lehigh's guarding this the same way they guarded the baseline bounce play the possession before when they got a steal. So they're face guarding everybody with Cooper over the top. Where can they get the ball? They're going to get to Carlo probably.
And they get it into Johnson, Barclay, and now near side of Palmer. They got to give the foul sooner, and they do. And Moore didn't want to give it. Moore wanted a chance to see if they get that second or the third pass.
Yeah, it looked like Carlo was open down the court. I missed it.
But here's the other part on that, too. You had 1 to give, so now it'll be bonus.
Yep. Same scenario.
They run picket fence at him. Don't get caught watching the paint dry.
Oh, my gosh.
Out of bounds off of Hawkins. Hawkins said no.
No replay, right?
Yeah, they're not going to go look at it. We'll get a chance to take a peek. No, didn't quite catch it.
Yeah. And Herriman has a timeout, right? Or no?
Yeah, Herriman has 1 timeout left.
Use it. Get organized. There you go.
Got into Mulford. And then
that's a foul.
That's a foul. The ball's loose to
that's
Lewis.
A foul.
12 seconds. Hawkins. Quincy's taking the timeout. What in the world just happened, Chad? This is what we were talking about, right? This is that.
The refs let him play through it. I thought Carlo got fouled.
And I thought he was trying to give the foul, or at least put him in that situation. Cooper comes out the loose ball, and then the timeout to Quincy Lewis.
Wow. The way it's going now, I wouldn't be surprised if Lehigh hits it. I think.
Well, now the thing, too, if you're Lehigh's, hey, you're not counting on any whistles.
Yeah. I think at this point, these refs ain't going to call unless you get destroyed. Maybe like the Knicks game.
Well, but even then, like, hey, this is going to be clear and obvious. Well, give me clear and obvious. That was an interesting one down the baseline. And here's the other part. I'll give this to the officials. We thought it could be, should be. They haven't called it tonight.
Yeah,
they really haven't.
Let them go. Letting the kids try to decide it. I thought Carlo got fouled on the baseline, but let it play.
So here's the situation. Lehi's used their last timeout. Herriman does have one timeout. Possession arrow belongs to Lehi as well. So jump ball in some crazy situation, it'll be Lehi basketball. But this is what we want. The winner moves on to the state championship game to take on the reigning champion, Lehi. You got the best scorer in the state in Cooper Lewis. And you got a big lineup from Herriman.
Watch this lob to Brousseau right here, right now.
Everybody on their feet.
Lob right there, slip. Oh, he slipped, he was wide open.
Mike Palmer was there. Here's Cooper Lewis. He goes to Cowan, to the corner. Brousseau down the baseline.
Got
Grayson lays it in. Timeout Herriman. Grayson Brousseau. He's been Jackson's little brother for a long time, and he just cemented himself as a Lehi legend with this bucket. And I missed it. What a play for Grayson Brousseau. And it's 63-61 Lehi.
What a play by Cowan to kick it out. I mean, he was right in the paint. Could have taken the shot, and they kicked it out.
And that's a great look. I think you're absolutely right. He's getting in that lane. He looked, and I thought they got Grayson in the corner. I'm like, oh, boy.
I thought he was going to shoot it, but he took it to the rim.
And that's a guy knowing himself.
Yep.
Gets all the way to the rim and finishes in an absolute clutch play. And it's 1.5 seconds left. No advancement at either. So
no advancement.
No advancement. You don't have a 7-footer on the sideline there if you're Quincy Lewis. And he's going to have free reign on the baseline. So, Coach, how you play this if you're Lehi?
Well, you got to keep. You want to make them catch it with their back to the basket going towards the pass. If they catch it going towards their bucket, they're going to be able to get a decent shot. It's too bad they don't have Max Strus on their team. You see that last night?
I did see that last night.
5 for 5.
Well, how about the Cleveland Cavaliers winning on a full court shot last night? And you make sure you're going to get the Valparaiso lob. That's kind of what I'm thinking in my head, is that Valparaiso play.
It looks like they're probably going to throw it to Johnson here full court, maybe get a bucket out of that.
2.2 seconds left. Barclay to inbound.
Not too far. It's too far.
Too far. Cowan has it. And Lehi is going to the 6A title game.
Wow, what a game. Congratulations to Lehi. I thought Herriman did a great job. Played their game. Just came up short.
My voice has made it all week to any level until the very end. What a ball game. This is one that, Chad, we get a chance to watch this inbound play.
We would like to congratulate Herriman on an outstanding basketball season.
Great look. Watch Grayson. Takes the bump, too.
Yeah, great job. Great pass by Cowan. Get the ball to Brousseau. Great finish at the rim. Congratulations to Lehi. They'll have their hands full against Corner Canyon, but hey, give them a shot. Coach Lewis, great coach. He'll put his guys in the best position possible to compete with Corner Canyon. Herriman had a great season. Coach Meacham did a great job with those guys, and came down to first one had the ball last.
Absolutely did, and this is just a great moment. See, Johnson comes over to give love to Brousseau, and now he's going to go beat up with Barclay as well. Kenzie Valentine's down there. She's going to get Grayson Brousseau for the interview. And let's get ready to send it down to Kenzie Valentine.
I'm getting my cue. Okay, ready? Grayson, what a game. Congratulations. You are heading to the state finals. How are you feeling right now?
I'm just so happy for me and all my guys, man. We've put in so much time and effort into this whole thing. I couldn't be happier for me and my guys.
It was just back and forth for a while. What did you do to keep up the intensity?
We kind of looked back at all the work that we put in through the year and just leaned on that. And we had a solid foundation of hard work and dedication. We just kind of leaned on each other for that extra oomph.
What were you feeling in that moment when you scored those final points?
I was just thinking of my teammates. That's all I could say. Just thinking of my teammates and how happy I am to go celebrate with them.
Absolutely. Last thing, you are about to face Corner Canyon in the championship. What are you going to do to prepare for that game?
Same thing we've done all year. Work hard and have fun.
All right, Grayson, go celebrate with your teammates. Congratulations.
Great job, Kenzie, and congratulations to the Lehi Pioneers. First, congratulations to Herriman. What a year. Doug Meacham in his first year. Chad, just absolutely outstanding. Taking them to a place they hadn't been. They were just seconds away from getting to the title game and just comes up a little bit short for Lehi and for Grayson Brousseau. What a moment, Chad. I mean, you got to multiple state championship games, but you've had crazy games like this. What is it like as a coach in the end when you see your boys come through in the clutch like that?
I've been on both sides of it, and, triple overtime against American Fork a few years back. We came on the wrong side of that one, but we also came on the right side of a couple, in those moments, excited for kids that win, and then you feel for them when you lose. And then no matter how much fun this week is and that it's special, this week doesn't define the process and what these kids have done to get themselves to this moment. Herriman should be super proud and excited, and Coach Meacham did a fabulous job, and those Herriman kids battled and bought into a new coach and a system and got onto this point, and it just came down to a couple bounces of the basketball. And congratulations to Coach Lewis. He's been here, he's done it, and his players came through. Brousseau did a great job, and Cooper kind of carried him to that point. And when it came down to it, Cowan made a great play for Brousseau to lay it up. Happy for both teams and the seasons that they had.
It's going to be quite. Here's the crazy thing: we haven't had this. They get a day to prep for the state championship game.
Yeah, and
get
at this
kids
point,
off their feet, and now let's watch them.
Yeah,
film,
that's
right?
the prep, right? Get them off their feet. So these Coach Lunt and Coach Lewis, they know what they're doing, and at this point, the hay's in the barn, and you get them play, get them rested, get their minds right.